Thanks, Joe. Hi, Patrick.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good to see you. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
The new season has arrived. How would you assess pre-season for you?
I think the pre-season is always try to put some ideas in place and try to understand players, and players try to understand how the manager want them to express themselves on the field. And on that way, I think it was quite positive.
A lot of fans, all fans actually, are really excited by the new signings. What's the team news? Is there any injuries to report?
No, we all know about the long-time injuries, but so far everybody's feeling good and ready to start the season.
Scott Dann announced his departure. That means Dan and Gary Cahill aren't there for the new season. I know you've signed new defenders, but is there a slight concern there's a lack of experience at the back?
Not really. We make some new signing at the back, and they are young. Yes, they are quite talented, but I believe they have the what it takes to perform in the Premier League. We lost some players with experience. I think those players did really well for the football club in the last couple of years. But the new ones who arrived, I believe they are ready to compete at this level.
Actually, I don't think any club has had the turnaround like Palace. It's been quite a summer for you, with many players leaving and some coming in. Do you still expect, the squad still looks a little light to me, do you still expect a few more to come in before the deadline?
Yeah, I think when you look at the squad, we are maybe a little bit more light on numbers, and we are working hard to improve the squad. And until the window still open, we will try to bring players that can improve our squad.
Is there a particular position you're looking at? Is it maybe a striker? Where's the position you really would love?
No, I think where we are maybe a little bit more short, it's up front and in the midfield. I think it will be good to reinforce those positions.
Some great news this week for the club, some further investment inside the club. Will you be receiving some of that money? Have you spoken to the chairman about that?
No, I think it is a really good news for the football club, obviously. But, when you look at Palace, the way they've been working in the last couple of years, they've always been responsible on the way they manage this football club. And nothing will change. Obviously, we will try to improve the squad, but nothing will be crazy.
What's a good season for Crystal Palace this season, Patrick? Because obviously, as I've mentioned, there's a lot of changes. And I suppose these players need time, don't they? Is that the key here?
Yeah, of course, those players need time. As a manager, of course, make my ideas in place may take longer. But we are quite ambitious. We want to perform. We want to compete at this level. I think that we are really in a positive way. The fact that we started the pre-season quite in a good way by the way we play those games, and managed to get a couple of wins who will give us confidence. But we know at the same time it will be really challenging, but we will be ready to compete, and we will want to compete.
Chelsea first, quite the first game for you. You might not be up against Romelu Lukaku. There's reports he won't be ready to start. How do you assess Chelsea there? They're looking very strong, aren't they? It's quite a first match for you.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenging game, obviously, because of what they've been doing in the last couple of months. They won the Champions League. They started by winning the cup again. But we're looking for it. I think you will have to play those kind of teams because, the Premier League, it's really competitive. There's some strong teams, and we will have to play them. Obviously, starting with Chelsea will not make it easy, but we have our belief, we have our self-confidence as well as a football club, as a team, and we're going to give ourselves the best chance to go there and to compete against them.
Now, Patrick, finally from me, fans said to me last week they didn't hear me talk to you about the Brighton game. Now, you were Mr. Arsenal. You always did well against Spurs. You need to tell the fans, you know about this rivalry, don't you? They're desperate to hear about it.
Of course, I think fans, players, they're always exciting to play this kind of derby, and obviously I'm looking forward to it. But there's so many games in the Premier League that are really important, and we have to try to perform well to allow ourselves to win football matches. And when you play a derby, you want to win it for the football club, for the fans, and we will try to do it, obviously.
Wish you all the very best, Pat.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Michael. We'll go to Alex from Premier League Productions. We can't hear you, Alex.
Sorry, I was on mute. How are you, Alex from Premier League Productions?
Nice.
So you've been there just over a month now. How are you feeling? Are you feeling good in South London? Have you settled in well at the club?
Yeah, I set it up quite well. Surrounded by really good people who helped me to adjust myself really quickly. Everything's been fantastic since the first day.
And would you say it's your biggest managerial challenge so far?
Yes, it is. In different way from when I was in New York or at Nice. This challenging here will be tough, but I believe that I'm in the right club to do what I love, coaching, and obviously with the challenges around, I'm ready for it.
And looking ahead to tomorrow's game, you know Thomas Tuchel from your time managing in Ligue 1. You're yet to beat him. I think you've faced him on 4 occasions. How tough is it to face a Thomas Tuchel side?
Yeah, I believe that he's one of the great managers around the Premier League, but in Europe, he's got a really strong team around him, and Chelsea playing well, playing a really good football, and obviously it's going to be a challenging game for us. And like I said previously, we are up for it. We're going to give ourselves the best chance to perform, and we will see at the end. But we are believing in ourselves, and with the difficulty, of course, that we will face, we're going to be up for it.
And Tuchel said he always idolized you when you were playing. Do you have a good relationship with him? Have you spoken to him at all since arriving to manage in the Premier League?
Yeah, we met at the Premier League managers meeting, and obviously from the time in Ligue 1 in France, we spoke together, and he's got a really good career as a manager so far. So I think he's an inspiration, of course, for those managers like myself.
And are you aware of your great record as a player against Chelsea in the Premier League?
No, not at all, because that's not important anymore.
You never lost to them, though. You should remember that. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. We'll now go to Alex from BBC Sport. Alex Howe.
Hi, Patrick.
Alex.
Hi. Ahead of the first game, what does it mean to you to be leading the team out as a Premier League manager?
It's going to be really exciting. This is something that I always wanted to do. So that will be the case tomorrow, and I'm really excited about that.
And everyone always, when they think of Crystal Palace, they think of Wilfried Zaha. What's it been like working with him, and how's he been this pre-season?
It's been fantastic. He's been a leader like I was expecting. The leader on and off the field is, I believe, one of the best players in this league, and we are fortunate to have a player like that in our squad.
And it's just been confirmed that Sean Derry is going to be part of your coaching staff. What has he brought to your backroom team and given to the team?
I really wanted to have somebody who know the football club up and down, and Sean's been here for quite a long time as a player, as a coach. He knows the young players from the academy as well, and nobody will talk about the club better than Sean. So to have it part of my staff is something that I was looking forward to, and it's been great to have him next to me.
And finally, Patrick, can I just check on one of the players, Joachim Andersen? Will he be fit enough to be in the squad tomorrow?
We're going to do our last training this afternoon, and he will be part of the squad, yes, for the first game.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Are there any other broadcast questions, please? If so, can you use the emoji? We'll go to George Sessions of PA.
Hi, Patrick. Just sticking on the team news theme, obviously not seen much of the captain Luca this pre-season. Just wondered if he was available to face Chelsea.
No, Luca is not going to be with us for the game against Chelsea. He's been missing the last couple of days of training for a personal reason.
Fair enough. And in terms of some of the other injuries, I mean, Vieira and Nathan are a bit more long term. What's the sort of timescale on Michael Elise? I know there's a lot of excitement around him.
Yeah, Michael is feeling better, and I think in the next 2 weeks he will be starting doing some work on the field.
Brilliant to hear. And from your own point of view, I mean, as a player, you were a real competitor, weren't you? And aggressive and tough to beat, but always had flair as well. I guess you're sort of hoping Crystal Palace are sort of a mould of yourself, where you're tough to beat, but have got that sort of entertainment as well.
Yeah, I think this football club have some values. I think when you look at the way this team conduct themselves in the last couple of years and fighting staying in the Premier League, so this commitment and hard work as part of the DNA of the football club, and that is something that we have to keep. And it will be important for me to try to implement the vision that I have of the game. We have some exciting young players in our football club, and it will be important for me to manage to make them play at the level that I know they can do, and obviously that will help us to play some good footballs.
And just finally from me, you've always been really articulate about the sort of fight against racism, and the Premier League announced last week it was about the players will continue to take the knee. I just wondered if you'd spoken to Wilf. He said last season that he sort of felt the meaning had been lost a little bit, and he decided to stand. I wondered if he's going to take the knee this season, or if he'll continue to stand.
Yeah, we talk about it, and the friendly game that we played, he decided to stand up, and I fully respect his decision. Personally, I will take the knee like the players, and it's good to see the Premier League supporting that the fight against discrimination. To have the support of the Premier League, I think it's something that showing that everybody try to fight against any kind of discrimination, and I will support it myself. And obviously, Will standing doesn't mean that he doesn't support the case. He just has a different way of expressing himself, and this is something I understand as well.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thanks, George. Okay,